Everdell Duo. This is your review for 2. Good day, my name is Joe. Today I'll be going over Everdell Duo, how it plays with 2 players. Now Everdell Duo is a 1 to 2 player game where it can be played in kind of 4 different modes. It can be played the Everdell competitive, where there's a little bit of changes from the original Everdell, but you're going head to head with another town. It can be played cooperatively through a campaign, which has 15 little missions you need to do about that, and you're building a collective town. It can be played in challenge mode, where we'll be playing these one-off kind of campaigns or one-off scenarios in this book, or it can be played solo, where you can just control 2. But the name of the game is to score the most victory points by the end of the 4 seasons, and in competitive, whoever has the most, or cooperative, hopefully beat the scenario, wins. So let's see a little bit more how to play. So in Everdell Duo, it has a lot of the same mechanics that Everdell does. You're going to be getting these different resources, the twigs, the berries, the stones, and the resin, and collecting victory points along the way, either building your city together or competitively. The one big difference is there's these sun and moon tokens. So anytime somebody puts an action down on the board, they're going to move the sun token. And this is a collective between both players. So there are only 3 actions. You only have 3 pawns. So each person can move this, forward 3 times. When both get to the end, the season's over. So to put down a person, or put down your creature, you'll put it down there, do the worker placement, do the action, move the sun. Another of the actions you can do is play a card. You can play a card from around the areas, from around the sun and the moon, and from any cards in your hand by paying those resources. Some of these may get you bonuses, one-time bonuses, bonuses throughout the game, bonuses that you're going to get during the spring and autumn times of the game, or end-around points. And then the last action is to take a card. You can move either one of these tokens. So somebody by the end may not be able to play all their tokens in a competitive game, and even the cooperative game. In the cooperative game, there's these skunks that are going to kind of block your spaces so you can't go to them. And that's kind of the game. You're going to do that 4 times, so go through the 4 seasons. It's a really tight game to try to build your area and score the most points. So you'll be moving both of these to the end 4 times, and after the 4th round, the game is over, and whoever has the most points wins. So let's see a little bit more what I thought about the game. So let's talk about the components. In Everdell Duo, the components are great like always. You get the berries, the twigs, and the stones. Everything feels nice. Really high quality stuff that you get when you get this game. The rules weren't very hard to pick up, especially if you're an Everdell veteran. You have any of the previous games, very easy to pick up. The one kind of caveat rule is these occupied tokens. Once you have an occupied token, you can put it on a building to immediately just put a creature of the same color out there. The references are great. In the back of the book, they go through most of the questions you're going to have, but there is an app or a QR code to a website that'll give you the full extent of these. So components great, rules and references very easy. Let's talk about setup and table size. Setup really isn't going to take you too long, maybe 5 minutes. Tear down probably just as fast. And then table size, they can be played on a 3x3. We're a little bit more spread out here, but definitely for 2 people can fit on a 3x3. Alright, so let's go into the gameplay of Everdell Duo. And we did play this game competitively, but to be honest, I'd rather play Far Shore or the base game of Everdell. It just came with a little bit more caveat of, who's going to move where, do you get to place all your people every season, because somebody could be moving the sun a little bit faster if they're grabbing cards, what cards can be grabbed. So it's just, it's fine on the competitive, but I really think you're going to be looking at this game if you want the cooperative version of Everdell. I believe it is Mistwood, which is the cooperative version of the big game. It was a 2-player cooperative version with these skunks in the way and playing through the campaign. What is neat about it is really tight. you really need to optimize your turn. It can have a kind of a cooperative leader, somebody kind of taking over all the actions. It does have that kind of alpha gamer in there as well. However, if you play it nice and, cooperatively, this game can be a lot of fun. Building the town together, really enjoyed. There's a couple of aspects I didn't go over. Moving the time once per game. You can flip over the time turner to move your one of your sun or moon backwards on the track, so you get an extra turn for the entire game, which is really nice. At the beginning of each campaign game, you're also going to get a piece of good news. So this is going to give you a once per game kind of effect as well, whether it's drawing cards, getting resources, just a ton of different things. But building the town together is crucial and really important in the cooperative game. If there's also some of the campaigns may have this trading space, so on a person's turn they can trade one resource to the other person, and on the other side one of the sun or moon have to be in the middle. So there's extra elements. Everybody builds the town using their own resources, but you build a collective town. But like I said, I think the gameplay is pretty tight, and I will say we won the first game by one victory point. We lost the second game by 1. We lost the next one by 5, and the following one by 7. So I do wish this game was a little bit more loose on the scoring. We really felt like we were having to maximize our victory points, and it kind of lost its cutesy air a little bit, making sure that we got all the victory points. We were more concerned about the victory points rather than building a town together. So that can be good for the more competitive cooperative group. However, like I said, it can kind of have that alpha gamer in there as well. Trying to decide which of the events we can finish for the round. Just it is a very good game. Deciding which actions to use. Really tight action selection. There aren't a ton of actions to select, but when you do, you're only going to get about 4 to 5 actions per worker placement per season, which really doesn't leave you with a whole lot of room for error. So very tight on the resource collection, the resource usage. By the end of the game, you want to have this built out town and score the most victory points you can. Like I said, the cooperation had to be pretty high up there. It was just a little bit too tight for me. So is this game good for 2? And I do like this game for 2. What I do like about it is it is very quick to set up. Far Shore is fairly quick as well, but we have Everdell with several expansions in it. Just to get the stuff out for that, we'd be halfway done with Everdell Duo. That is what is nice about this game. I am not the biggest fan of the racing mechanic as much. Even though the other Everdells have it, you just get more and more workers every time, but you feel like it's kind of escalating a little bit. By the end of this game, we felt like we had to score points and points and points, because this last season was all about just scoring points, and it just felt a little bit rushed to me. Now this game takes us about 30 to 40 minutes. Very good for 2 players. You can play this solo. You can just play two-handed. Competitive, if you want a nice quick game, this is it. But as a cooperative game, this may scratch the itch that you have. But this kind of falls into my viticulture world category of it. It adds on to a little bit of the base mechanic, but does it need that cooperative? Do you need that cooperative nature of the game? And if yes, if you enjoyed Viticulture World, I think you'll love Everdell Duo. Viticulture World also was pretty hard for us. And the campaign for this, hitting the goals that we needed to hit every time, was also pretty tough. The skunks were in terrible spots sometimes. They were blocking some of the spots. We were having less actions for the turn. So really tight action selection. So This is a pretty good game for two for the ones who want a nice, tight, cooperative experience. Not sure if I'd get it just for the competitive. However, it is much easier to get out than the base Everdell plus expansions or even Far Shore. So if you have two people that want to play, or somebody else in your life you want to play with, or by yourself playing two-handed, this could be a nice, quick Everdell experience. So hope you guys enjoyed the review, and until next time.